Nicky!
What's up, Blue?
What are we doing today?
So I'm thinking you're gonna run up, 3 in the steel, you're gonna pop the corner, shoot the hostage taker, maybe like 2. Make it look cool for the camera.
Sounds good. Shake and bake.
All right, Blue, action. What's wrong?
Dude, that's the grand thumb target.
What are you talking about, dude? This is fine. This looks good. It looked great.
Bro, they're gonna hate us in the comments, man. Those dudes are looking for anything.
Dude, but that's engagement. What are you talking about?
Dude, I think he's got like a patent on it.
Oh shit, is Grand Thumb coming?
Big welcome back to my entire USOW family, wherever in the world you may be. Boy Blue here, coming to you live once again from behind enemy lines. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into this rifle breakdown. We featured it a few times on the channel here recently, and just got tons of questions asking about it. Not that I'm some kind of subject matter expert. However, we're out here doing this dang thing weekly, so we do got a lot of rounds through the guns and kind of have figured out what works for us. May not be 100%, may not work for you. However, this is my tried and true kind of everybody has a if crap hits the fan moment, what they would grab. This one rides near my nightstand within easy reach, and we'll get to it in just a second. But first, I'd like you to all join us in celebrating. We got our first channel sponsor, so we now have an ammo sponsor, and that ammo sponsor is LAX Ammo in San Diego. So we'll throw up their emblem somewhere around here because I left the dang ammo can they gave me to use as a prop. And really want to thank Will and those guys over there for helping the channel out. It'll be a huge push for us to grow and give you guys more of what you're asking for. All right, guys, welcome back to the 100-yard line. We're gonna do a little 5-shot group out of this bad boy and see what kind of accuracy we can squeeze out of it. We've got the EXPS3-2 shooting the PMC X-Tac 55 grain out of a 13.7, and I had a little bit of bucked up energy drink this morning courtesy of the count over there, and I'm thinking from the 100-yard line Spec Ops water would have been a better option. But anyway, check those guys out, friends of the channel. Range is hot. All right, guys, fired a couple rounds to see where she was hitting, and got the 5-round group. We'll move down range to check it out. All right, guys, so what we're doing over here is our 5-round shot group. As you can see, we got about 3, probably a sub MOA. Stretch these out just a little bit. Not too shabby for an old guy shooting off a bunch of water cans. The rifle's probably much more capable than I am, but not too shabby for 100 yards. Still proud of her, and let's get down to a little bit closer range and really let her stretch her legs for what she was built for. All right, guys, we're gonna run a little build drill, just see how this baby handles. 6 rounds from 5-7 yards, somewhere around there.
189, all alphas.
All right, 189, all alphas. Now we're gonna do just kind of a little L-Pres. That'll be 2 rounds each target. And we got 3 targets up here.
All A's, 255.
255. All right. We'll try to run it one more time, just see if we can tighten that up. All right, guys, that was 255 on the last one. We're gonna try that from a low ready this time. See how we do.
Stand by. $195.
195, bring it on down. We're gonna start off G on the bill drill. Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Nice, 157.
All A's.
Yeah, got a line break, but who's judging? All right, now we'll do the L press. Good run, buddy.
Right.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Nice, 2.37, 2.37. Right. Got the count here. He's gonna run. He can never count right. That's how he got his nickname. Shooter ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Five rounds. 1.62.
That trigger, bro, that trigger caught me off guard. Holy.
That's a nice trigger.
Can't say F-bombs on our channel, but we'll bleep that out. Trigger brought to you by Geisley.
God damn, that.
You
that
ready?
Caught me off
1,
guard.
2,
Holy
3.
Shit.
2, 2, and 2.
Johnny still can't. Right.
Shooter ready. Here we go. Nice. 2.14. Yeah, you got a delta there. That happens. We did a few different drills. Just gonna get some first impressions on my beautiful build here, the LMT.
I mean, the reticle doesn't move. That was freaking wild. It's a little bit of a heavier rifle, but I think that just lends to the fact that the thing, again, doesn't move at all. So 10 out of 10. I want one.
Whoa, there you go. Count. Outstanding. Okay, so meet us at the table, and we'll break this bad boy down and kind of give you some insight as to how it was built out. All right, with that, we're going to get on down into the breakdown. Now, the reason I chose the LMT is other than it just has a very high quality control, really good track record. I was able to purchase it, and I know everybody out there understands we're coming to you live from behind enemy lines. So first question we get a lot is, how do you run it like this? Well, the way we run it like this, and you can judge if you want to, I felt at the time it was the best call for the situation we were in, but there was a limited window where you could actually register these things as assault rifles. I'm not going to get into the semantics of an assault rifle, an automatic rifle, all that stuff there. That's what they called it, and when in Rome. So there was a short window where you could register it as an assault rifle, so I was able to do so, get it on paperwork so that we could have it in the condition that it rests in. Now, with that, we'll just get into the breakdown of the rifle. I think it's kind of cool. A lot of people will see it and think, oh, that's just a standard AR, but there's a few little things I've done to it just to make it my own and what I found works for me. First and foremost, the reason I use this bedside is it is a piston gun, and I've got several thousand rounds through it, had it for several years. Never, knock on wood, had an incident where it did not function perfectly. The piston system is debatable whether direct impingement or piston's better. However, a lot of units decided to go with the piston system because they believe it just gives you a slight better edge on a filthy rifle or something like that. Not that this is a dirty girl, but the way we do it is every now and then I punch the bore, I just keep adding oil, and she keeps on chugging along. So we'll start from tip to butt. Seems to be the way to do it. The first thing I did is I chopped down the barrel to 13.7 inches. This is a relatively mid-profile, not quite a heavy profile, but it's a mid-profile barrel. Keeps a lot of weight out front, plus you got the chunky quad rail gang. Out here, after we chopped it down to 13.7, you had to permanently attach this muzzle device to it so that you could get that legal 16.1 inches so you don't get a knock on your door. And I chose to go with the closed tine Surefire War Comp. And what I was thinking is, a lot of people said, to be honest, I couldn't perceive it. I shoot a lot, and I couldn't quite perceive that there was a significant change in the recoil impulse that I was feeling between a piston and a direct impingement gun. However, I guess you could say it was slightly there, but I did some things to the rifle to make sure we negated that. The first one is the War Comp. So if you're familiar with the War Comp, and I'm gonna blame Johnny for my voice traveling faster than my freaking lips today, because I was drinking coffee and then he handed me this bucked up energy drink that would probably make a good sponsor, because we need our energy out here running and gunning all day. So the War Comp has these ports, and you can adjust them to counteract whichever way your muzzle's gonna rise. You have your piston system here, which you can take out clean, and haven't had to do too much to it, just oil it every now and then. From there, we're moving back. So we do shoot under nods. You probably saw this rifle featured in an earlier video where we were reviewing this SMS Trinity laser. As aware as you are out there in TV land, it's still here, which means we haven't broken it yet. The testing continues so that we can give you feedback later on just what an amazing device it is. But so far, so good. Very pleased with it. Anyway, back to the Surefire. We got the Surefire Scout. This is the one with the vampire head in case you use a passive aiming for your nods, and it allows you to go white light or IR with a simple flip of the switch. The other thing I like about it is you can actually turn the whole thing off, and when you turn it off, it makes the pressure switch null and void. So if you're transporting, I don't know if you've ever transported and have something inadvertently depress it, kill your batteries, and when you grab your gun, normally it's your handgun, really hot up front and the batteries are dead. So this prevents that from happening, and it allows you to illuminate without the if this should go down, you can still illuminate, or use white light if that's who you're training or your partner forces have that. Now, SMS laser riding on top, already did the review, so we don't need to go into that too much. Well, I'm able to run this pressure pad in a position that allows me to control the flashlight ambidextrously, just due to the way I got my sling set up with this sling swivel a little bit forward. We were doing some training, and on the really fast reloads and stuff like that, running the slings a little bit farther to the rear, especially these hefty arm slings that have this little catch handle here for you to adjust the sling more rapidly. Had a few incidents where it would get caught in the magazine well whenever you're doing reload. So to negate that, moved it forward. Haven't had any issues since then, so there's where she's gonna ride. But the pressure switch here allows me to use an ambidextrous grip and actuate the light, since it's now over here and not where my thumb could reach it. The fire switch on our SMS Trinity is right here on top, so you can use your ambidextrous left or right to actuate that. Now, moving back from there, I do have a slight little grip here from Magpull. Just allows me to pull the rifle into my shoulder a little bit tighter. Don't really need anything on the sides, because y'all already know the cheese grater effect of the quad rail. Now, all this lends to a little bit of weight out front of the gun, which does help with recoil impulse and allowing really fast follow-up shots. Now, right behind that, you're probably noticing this thing, and people are like, what in the heck? So what this is I had to push back my backup iron, and this is the Troy Industries flip up combat sight. Do change out the front sight posts for a tritium insert, which allows me to still have night capabilities should that issue arise. Whenever I fold it down, it actually doesn't interfere with the reticle of the EOTech, and this is the EXP 3-2, something like that. I'll notate the proper nomenclature down there, but it's the one where the image has 2 dots to expand your capabilities of engagement, so that you don't have to do holds quite as off the fly. It does have the 2 dots in there that you can reference your shots off of. We'll cover that in another video, because that would take a lot of time to cover. Riding behind her is a 5-power flip to the side magnifier, and this one I haven't put on any kind of riser or anything, just trying to run it as it is to see if that's still going to work for us. However, the last time we did do a night vision shoot when I was under nods, I was having a little bit of trouble getting onto this EOTech. So, you know, don't base your rifle solely on how someone else has theirs set up, because I know if you watch this channel here for a little while, next month she may look different. So what you need to do is run your guns and then make the adjustments that make it work for you. For right now, this is working, but like I said, I may add the riser here shortly. This is the 5-power. I just like this one for a do-it-all gun because I'm fairly accurate with it, and the flip-up 5-power gives me the capabilities of reaching out a little bit and making full use of this free-floated medium profile barrel, because it is incredibly accurate, which you'll have seen shortly, or we'll see here, depending on how we edit this, or Nikki, there's no we. Now, with the flip-up sights, this flips to the side, the rear sight flips up, front sight flips up. It is a short distance between these two sights. However, life is imperfect, and sometimes you just gotta go with what you go with. Now, I did replace the LMT charging handle, not that there was anything wrong with it, but it was a single-sided charging handle, and I do like to be able to run the rifle ambidextrously. So this is the Radian Raptor charging handle that is ambidextrous. It is the full strength one. The lightweight one, this is a rifle I really run a lot, so I just wanted to make sure we were good to go with that. I did add the Radian Talon Ambi safety selector just to make sure, again, that we could do that. And it's a really smooth one. I use a 45-degree throw. Some people don't like those. I've never had an issue with it. I have a Geisley, a single stage precision trigger in there. Since this is kind of a do-it-all gun, instead of going with the 2-stage, since that's a little more, for me, works a little bit better when I'm shooting more for accuracy than speed. So I went with the SSP. And I went also with the Geisley Maritime bolt release, bolt catch, so that on those reloads we could go a little bit faster. Now the guts, other than that, are all LMT, the bolt and all that, because you do need a specific bolt for use in the weapons that run off of the piston system. Now behind that is the LMT SOP Mod stock. If it ain't broke, I ain't gonna try to fix it. Now, you can see I did replace the pistol grip with the Daniel Defense. If you're out here training on the daily, training a lot, sometimes those little ridges in between the trigger guard and your pistol grip will start to wear on your hands. And the Daniel Defense, having the integrated trigger guard and the inlaid rubber on the pistol grip, just worked really well for me. I have pretty medium-sized man hands, and this grip just gives me a good angle, not too sharp an angle to do reloads, to do CQB, whatever. I use this on pretty much all of my rifles. Now, one of the interesting parts is drifting back here. Now, this is a 5.56, 223. It is not a 308 rifle. However, the buffer tube I installed is also, keeping in tradition, is an LMT buffer tube. However, it is for the 308. Now, I didn't know that this would work, so I just went out there and tried it so that you didn't have to waste your money. But the 308 buffer tube will fit on the lower receiver, and I gave it a extended castle nut, just because this is a place where you can see failure. So the forward controls, I believe, is the name of this castle nut. It's a little bit extended, a little bit tougher, and I just wanted to negate any area where this could fail if this is my go-to rifle. Now, running the 308 buffer tube. I was able to run the Veltor V5 or A5. I can't remember which one it is. I'll drop it down in there. Y'all know this is a lot of numbers to just spit off the top of your head. But I believe it's the Veltor V5 or A5 buffer system, which is a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, and a little bit longer spring. And this gives you a little dampened recoil impulse. So with the Warcomp, the heavier front end, and that nicer buffer system, the A5 buffer system, I can now tell you that this piston rifle actually runs smoother than most of my direct impingement guns. Now, we already said running the hefty arm sling there. And I think that pretty much brings us to the conclusion of this firearm. Very pleased with how it all turned out. If that's something you're interested in doing, I'll try to throw some links down in there where we had the barrels cut down and where you can order the different parts and maybe a parts list for you. All right, before we get out of here, we always try to leave you with a quick word of a golden nugget of wisdom. And mine today, it kind of struck me the other day. We just finished up our annual range rush, huge success. Tons of people came out. Simultaneously, the channel's taken off and doing much better. And we're really excited about that growth. But I had someone tell me when I started down this road, leaving military law enforcement and the private sector, going into this training sector, I had this idea of simultaneously running the classes while running the channel. And I had somebody that I thought really knew what they were talking about. And they told me you have to just do one. You can't do both and both be successful. You need to pick one and focus on that. So I took that person's word to heart because I thought that they were very successful and they seemed very professional in what they were doing. But once I got to know the whole story, I found that not to be true. So don't take advice on your dreams or your ambitions from someone that's not sharing that same race with you, because they have no idea how to get you to the finish line. Only you, your drive, and your team can get you there. So live your dream, chase it, do whatever you want to. Just make sure you live life to the fullest. Like we always say, one trip around this big rock and then that's it, we're checking out. With that, I'm gonna leave it with you. This is Blue on behalf of the USOW crew, and we are out.